Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brain Tunes with Archana in collaboration with Radio Brain Drive. Today, I have with me the most esteemed Brigadier Sushil Bhasin, sir. Welcome to Brain Tunes with Archana, sir.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
I would like to talk about Sushil Bhasin, sir, who is one of my favorite mentors, and I personally call him Gurudev because he has made a huge impact on my life, and I can claim that my foray into social media has been because of Sushil Bhasin, sir. Thank you so much for this, for making me this capable, sir.
Thank you very much for saying that.
Right. Audience, I would like to give you a brief about Sushil Bhasin, sir, with a small presentation that I made for him. So can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So here we go. Sushil Bhasin, sir, welcome to Brain Tunes with Archana in collaboration with Brain Drive Radio. Sushil Bhasin, sir, is a time investment strategist. He's a keynote and TEDx speaker. He's a master trainer and author. He will be detailing on everything that he has done and the way he has changed many lives and impacted people in a couple of minutes from now. I would first like to go back and I would like Sushil sir to introduce himself. So,
Thank you very much, Archana. Yes, I think my introduction is there. But just to tell you very briefly that I had 34 years of training experience in the Indian Army, which I value the most because that was my learning ground. And if somebody asks me, what is the best thing that happened to you in your life? My answer is the three magical words: National Defense Academy. I think that's the best gift God gave me. And that is a factory which converts ordinary boys into extraordinary human beings. And I have everything to pay my tribute to that organization. In 34 years, I learned a lot of values and I decided to shift gears in 2004 when in 2002 I was a chairman of Army School Bareilly and I was asked to be the uh, chairman and I was told that the school is not in a good shape and you need to do something about it. And getting involved in doing something for that school, I got so involved with children that I fell in love with them. And doing something for the youth of this country became a passion for me. So I left the army and started my own training company. And for 10 years, I ran that company and now I'm an independent trainer. I do a lot of work with children, but then schools and colleges could not afford to send their children very often. So we also went in for corporate training. Corporate training gave us the main business, but I enjoy my children more. So I say the bread and butter comes from corporate, but the jam comes from the children.
that's such a sweet thing to say, sir. And I'm actually intrigued as to you work with so many age groups, ranging from children to army to corporates now. So, what has been your experience with them individually, sir?
Archana, firstly, I think I only deal with children. And when people say what age group, I say 8 years to 80 years.
That's very nice, sir. That's indeed very nice. A very nice
Okay,
perception.
right. So what I feel is that when you are training children, the
Yes,
youth,
sir.
the beauty is that they are like plasticine, they are moldable and you can create an impact. And therefore, the return that you get in making a change in the society is far more when you do with children. The younger, the more impact you will have. One, that they will have longer number of years to implement what you teach them. That is one. And secondly is that because you are teaching them at a learnable age, they learn more from you than an adult will learn. So
Right.
therefore, if you work out the productivity ratio, the input to output, obviously your investment into children gives you far better results than you do with adults. Experience with adults has also been good. So it is a different ball game because you have to treat them differently, and so one had to learn the nuances of adult education and children education. They are a little different, but at the same time, when you deeply have a goal and you're focused, then very it automatically comes to you how to change over from students to adults. It doesn't require any extra training or anything like that.
Lovely, sir. True that every age group and every audience has a different perspective, and a speaker or a trainer has to mold himself to suit the needs. Thank you so much, sir, for that. So your philosophy of life: 90% of what I create is for free distribution. That is something which is very unique in this world, sir, because nobody gives anything for free, and and giving knowledge is something which is incomparable. And die
So let me
empty.
say something here,
Yes,
Archana.
sir.
I went for a program
Mhm.
called Millionaire Mind Intensive, and I had a big discussion with some of the people there who meant they said, no, what you're doing is not correct. Why should you train somebody for free? And that's wrong. And they had a very correct perspective. I don't disagree. But in my own mind, I'm still not able to reconcile to the fact that I must only teach people who pay me. Because very in the beginning of when I started getting into this world of education, I happened to read a few books of Vivekanand. And Vivekanand said that knowledge is to be spread. Anyone who's in this knowledge industry, his main aim is to spread knowledge. And therefore, the aim is to spread knowledge more than make money out of it. So we have Edison who gave us light. How much did he
Yes, sir.
study? What knowledge he gave us? Did Edison keep getting royalty from everyone who uses light today?
True, sir.
I mean, let's give. So I think anyone who is a knowledge sharer, whether you are a teacher, professor, trainer, therapist, counselor, anyone, you are imparting, you're sharing your knowledge. And therefore, my next point is die empty, because I very recently realized that the wealthiest place on this
Mhm.
planet is
Mhm.
the graveyard, because that is where people leave all their knowledge when they go. So all the knowledge of the world is dumped there. I don't want to dump anything there. I would rather give it out before I go. So I want to die with nothing that I'm taking with me up there.
A very fresh perspective, sir, of free distribution of the knowledge that you have. Undoubtedly, sir, I think you are also an inspiration, and you are a role model for many educators who are out there. And if we look at education today, education is a big business, and you are one exception here who is spreading knowledge for free. Kudos to you, sir.
Let me also, sometimes I'm tempted to say something and I really can't wait for you to give me a gap. See, when I joined as a chairman of Army School Bareilly, at
Mhm,
that point of time, Archana, I had no idea of education
mhm,
because uh, I had not even gone to college. So, from many people's perspective, I'm an uneducated guy. I only did my scenic school 10th class and went to NDA, right? And my qualifications of MSc and MPhil and all came much later in life. But really speaking, when I got married, my wife was much more qualified than me, and that was the case with most ex-NDA officers,
mhm,
right? So that you all matriculates or just 11th class pass,
mhm.
and you joined the army, and there was no other qualification you had. So when I joined this school, I knew that I'm going to be talking to teachers who now know much more about education than I know. So
Okay.
I did talk to all the teachers and I said, I acknowledge the fact that you are all far more educated than me in any way. And I am going to be uh, talking about something. And I told them, and I really want to emphasize on this. I
Mm-hmm.
said, in the business of education, there are three players: the student,
Mm-hmm.
the parent, and the teacher. And I said, sometimes there's a fourth player, and that is the promoter, or today we say the management,
Right, sir.
right? These are four people who are involved. And I said, and all of them have a role. And I said, as a chairman of that school, I said, I am going to be totally student focused, and everything we are going to ask an asset question. Whatever decisions we take, whatever actions we take, are they in the interest of the student? Teachers' interest and parents' interest will be secondary for me. For
Mm-hmm.
me, the main interest is I am going to be totally a student focused person. And then I said, you heard me say, and I hate to say, that education is business. And I said, the business of education has three players.
Yes, sir.
And then I explained, I said, technically, when you provide a service and charge money for it, it is business.
Right.
Because you're charging fees and imparting knowledge, school is a business.
Yes, sir.
But there's a big difference between this business and any other business. And that is that if I want to sell this mobile phone to you, then there is a price to it. If this mobile phone costs 30,000 rupees, I can only sell it for 30. I can't sell it for 1 lakh.
Right, sir.
Nobody will buy it, right?
Yes, sir.
Education is the only product that there is no relationship between the cost and the delivery of the product.
Agreed, sir.
You can't tell a student or you can't tell a parent that I charged you 600 rupees fee and I've given you 600 rupees knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, in this business, you will charge whatever you charge,
Mm-hmm.
but you will give infinite knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And that is the difference between this business and any other business. So as an educator, are we prepared to share knowledge, and are we prepared to cut off the idea of that business? And when lots and lots of educators run schools primarily for business, primarily for making money, they have no love lost on the quality of education. It pains me. And I've gone and done training in many schools where I found that the owner of the school was not an educator. He started a school because that's a good business. He runs a
Yes.
hotel industry, he runs something else, and also runs a school. Sometimes even to convert their black money into white money and whatever. Very, very, very sad things happen in such schools where I've seen the type of instructions the principals are given, and they totally look at admissions kitna hua. That's it.
Yes,
They've
sir.
never asked a question that what are people learning. So I think somewhere as educators we have to have that sacred responsibility of making an impact, because you are dealing with a delicate thing of building careers.
Exactly, sir.
You are actually building a nation. I always call teachers nation builders.
Yes,
You
sir.
are the nation builders. How can you compromise on the quality?
Agreed, sir. But then, unfortunately, like you said, there are corporate schools, there are corporate colleges which focus completely on finances, and education is the last thing that is there on their mind.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
educators, principals, although they feel pained, they're practically helpless to do
Yes,
anything because,
absolutely. I've done lots of principals trainings, and I'm not mentioning any schools here, but I have seen that the management of those schools was so focused on making money that the
Mhm.
principals were totally 100% helpless.
Yes.
And they had no, I've seen very good principals, and most of those principals who were really very genuine principals left that school and joined other schools and all. I'm in touch with many of them even today. But yeah, that is a painful truth.
True, sir. In this dog eat dog world, we cannot expect anything more. And people are like, educators are helpless, literally helpless. And we actually see really talented people withdraw into shells because they feel helpless. And people like you actually assist in bringing out such talents and grooming them, taking it on their own and starting off with training, mentoring, and you give a lot of value when you teach us that knowledge is for free. Focus more on value addition rather than earning a payback. That's a lovely initiative that you have taken, sir. And I guess that is how we are making a difference in the world, which is our next philosophy, which you mentioned here.
Yeah.
And be authentic. True, sir, because today we see the world is all plagiarized. Everywhere it is copy paste. So being authentic also is very difficult in today's world.
Yes. Be authentic and be vulnerable. When you make a mistake, tell people made a mistake. When you have your weaknesses, tell your people your weaknesses. I have no issues on doing that, because you have to be a genuine human being. You can't be an educator without being authentic.
Agreed, sir. Agreed, sir. And we are not perfect. At the end of the day, we are all humans and we tend to make errors. Nothing wrong in accepting that we are wrong and going ahead. So, talking about the programs that you conduct, sir. So, these amazing list of programs and the acronyms that you have made of them are really very interesting, sir. So, could you please enlighten my audience about the programs that you conduct?
Okay, so I will be very crisp on that. I do a time creators code. It is basically, and I've got a video on my YouTube channel, which is my 100th video, where I've talked of the evolvement or a journey from a time consumer to a time manager to a time investor to a time creator. Mostly when people talk about time management, they talk about doing more in less time, but I talk about doing more in more time,
Mhm.
which means that first I talk about the emphasis on creating more time, and then in that more time that you have created by not only the tools and technologies, but basically by shifting your mindset, and more than the mindset, shifting your heart set, because I
Mhm.
believe that the transformation happens in the heart and not in the mind, right? So after having, when you start thinking more of time, and when I make you shift your thought process, and with the tools, I make you create more time, and then you utilize that time to do something for yourself, which means I have a very strong caution there that
Mhm.
when, if you create more time, don't use that more time for more work, because then you'll get into stress levels.
Yes,
So
sir.
that more time than you created is for your luxury, is
Right,
for
sir.
your leisure, is for the thing that you always wanted to do and you couldn't do. Because I didn't come to this planet to achieve goals.
Mhm.
But between you and your goals, there is something called life. I want to enjoy my life.
Mhm.
Just to achieve my goals, I shouldn't be ruining my life. And many people have done that.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, this is Time Creators Program, where you create more time to enjoy life and be efficient, right? There are two related programs called Goal Management, which is Set It, Get It, and
Mhm.
Productivity Booster. They all three combined may, make you go towards becoming more productive, managing your goals well, and creating extra time. Then Train the Online Trainer, which you have also attended, which
Yes.
I do jointly with Jogesh Jain,
Yes.
is a program, because I've been running a program called Train the Super Trainer. And now
Mhm.
when COVID happened, we were quick to realize that people need to come online. And luckily, I was doing online webinars even before COVID. And therefore, we quickly uh, came out with this program to help trainers come online, which has been a very successful venture. And in that train the trainer only, we do something called high impact virtual engagement, which means that now today we have got into a system where you will have to have lots of variety in the online program that you deliver, and you have to have a program which creates high impact, and it has to be engaging, it has to be interesting. And therefore, whether you do classes, you do open spaces, and there are many other formats that we have now worked out on, where you engage the audience in a manner that they don't get bored with a PowerPoint presentation and a 1 or 2 hours uh, one way delivery or a monologue or a
Monologue.
lecture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Agreed, sir. Because of the COVID, now there are training programs or webinars, seminars, what all nars. They are like WhatsAppinar, and I don't know what all new terminology people have come up with. And people right, left, and center, day in, day out, hours together, we're glued to the screen, actually gaining nothing there. And like you said, most of the time it is just that people just enter the webinar and just go off, so there's nothing that they're learning. So high impact virtual engagement is something which I've experienced personally in TTOT, and I completely vouch for what you're speaking about, sir. And I guess we missed out on one very important acronym that I really was very happy with, sir. ROTI. I don't see where is roti here, and that I heard
No,
only
roti is
from
a
you.
part of it is a part of TCC. No, that's certainly not my terminology. It is
Okay.
very much there being used, but it is not talked much about. So, return on time invested is something which uh, is a term for the last many years,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I've learned it. But yes, unfortunately, people don't talk much about it. So we all know ROI. We
Yes,
know
sir.
return on investment,
Investment. Yes, sir.
and that is a financial return on a financial investment, which we all understand. So
Yes, sir.
we all into our businesses also see how much money we put in and how much money we got, but we
Yes.
never calculated what cost did I get that. So
Mm.
if I was to, for example, it happened with me a few days back. I
Mm-hmm.
spent almost 1 hour trying to see which is the best discount I can get on an airline ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And if I spend 1 hour to get a discount of 500 rupees, really speaking, it has not been worth it. But we
Yes.
feel that I saved 500 rupees. You saved 500 rupees, but that cost of 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
And if your 1 hour's worth, which is called the hourly worth, if you calculate your hourly worth, and if my hourly worth is 5,000 rupees, and I invested 5,000 rupees to earn to get a discount of 500 rupees, was it worth it? Really, no. But
Mm.
we think it's worth it.
Right.
And it happens in our life daily,
Yes, sir.
that we
Yes, sir.
do end up investing our time into trivial things, and we think we have saved a few rupees here and there, but we don't know at what cost we saved it.
Yes, sir. Sir, if one has to enroll in one of these programs, what would be the procedure and what's the duration of these programs, sir?
So they're all different, and I even customize it. So if a client wants it for a particular duration, we customize it. I'm very good at customizing programs because I think everyone doesn't need. It's not like on the off the shelf. So I say
Yes.
I'm not a garment seller. I don't give you a shirt of 36 size and 34 size.
Mm.
I tailor a shirt for you as per your size.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, there are open programs and there are different programs. I think the best would be to go to my website and get to the details, and also contact me and my team. And we rather like to get into one-to-one conversation to understand what your requirement is, because I would like to deliver a program that suits you and delivers the result to you. For example, right in the beginning of COVID, we did a team building program for a jewelry company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know much about jewelry companies, so it took me a little time to first understand what is there. So I went into a little conversation with them. I do a little research. I went on to the internet to find out what jewelry companies have challenges and all in that. And then I delivered that program. So that is the way we deliver. And
Yes.
we also decided to do it as per their duration. And then I also check their budget. And I also say, okay, if that is your budget, we can do this and this and this. So that is the way I take it.
Right. So basically, all the courses are tailor-made according to the necessity of the client.
Yeah. No, and there are
Um,
some program like TCC is now. So I've just delivered a master class on Saturday,
mhm.
and I've made it very affordable. This is a 3 hours master class followed by 1 month of hand holding. And like
Okay.
what you have seen in TTOT, we have a community building, and therefore
Yes.
we have a community where people work in small groups and they have competitions and all that. And that will go on for 1 month with a weekly question and answer session.
Mm.
And all this is there for just 3,000 rupees. And that also you are allowed to bring one guest along or one partner with you.
Okay.
So really speaking, if you share, it is 1,500 rupees per head for a 1 month long program.
Right, sir. Agreed, sir. So, audience, in case you want to understand what is time investment and how to make the best use of the time you have on hand, I would definitely suggest enroll in one of sir's classes, and you would definitely feel a difference in your productivity. You would also understand how time is more valuable than money. I would be providing all the details of Sir's social media handles along with his phone number, email ID, and the other details in the video link below here. So you can engage or you can get in contact with Sir's team so that they can understand your needs and enroll you for his programs. Now, talking about your clientele, sir. So, right from corporates to small and medium business owners, senior leaderships, professionals, educators, and youth. You already told us about educators, youth. With your school programs and the programs that you conduct for youth. Could you throw light on corporates and startup small, medium
So
business owners?
basically, for the last 15 years, I've been doing a lot of work with corporates in the field of leadership and teamwork. And today, I like to promote and focus on time management strategies or time investment strategies for the corporate world. For me, I find that my best ideal targets are small and medium business owners and senior leadership because for a normal corporate executive who works from 9 to 5 and his productivity is never being measured, really speaking, so he is not going to invest any time or money into buying a program which is for time management because it doesn't matter to him. But for a small and medium business owner, if he
Mhm.
can learn his own productivity and the productivity of his team, that can make a tremendous difference in his business. So I have in my time management, of course, there's one of my elements called compounding of time. And when I ask a CEO of a company, particularly small and medium business owner, how many hours are you responsible to your company for in a day? And the answer is normally 8 to 10 hours. And then I say, how many people work for you? And he says, 10 people. And I said, how many hours do they work? He says, 8 hours. So I said, are you responsible for 80 hours of a day's time management or are you responsible only for 8 hours?
Right.
And that is what intrigues them. Now, Archana, the point is that when you employ a person in your company,
Mhm.
technically you have purchased his 8 hours of time.
Agreed, sir.
You have bought his time. And if he is producing 6 hours of work or 4 hours of work, that is the loss you're incurring without knowing it.
Hmm.
And if I am able to build the mindset of productivity into
Mhm.
your top leadership, then it trickles down to the entire company, and the result is an increase in the revenue of your company without any extra investment of additional manpower, technology, machinery, etc. And that's a very effective way of turning the turnover around. So that is what I talk about.
So that is
When
how
it comes
in
to professionals, whether it is doctors, it is trainers, particularly trainers, uh, any professionals who want to improve their time management or leadership skills or
Mhm.
communication skills, I look at that part also.
Great, sir. So what I understand is it is not that we have only the 24 hours allocated in a day, but it translates into 80 hours or 100 hours, depending on the number of people we are responsible for, working for us. That's.
Very simply put, when
Mhm,
you have a maid servant in your house,
mhm.
what has the lady of the house done? She has bought 8 hours or whatever hours of time of that maid servant so that she can do all the menial job which she doesn't want to do, and that gives her time for her to go to the beauty parlor or watch the TV. So she's found a way of outsourcing. So she's also created that 8 extra hours of somebody else doing her work.
Yes, sir.
So it is at all levels. It is at all levels that you can actually come. So really speaking, my time in my life is not as important as people's time around me, because I am impacting other people's time and other people are impacting my time. And it's a combination of my time and their time which is impacting us.
Yes, sir.
If I
Undoubtedly,
call for
time.
a if I call for a cab and an Uber comes 15 minutes late, he has impacted my life. And if I'm going for a meeting and I get late there, I've impacted the time of those 10 people who are waiting for me in the meeting.
Yes, sir. So it is cyclic. It is cyclic
Yes,
in
I
nature. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Right, sir. So talking about the education, educational qualifications and certifications, you see the whole, there is nothing which sir hasn't done, and he's a master of many, many things. So, sir, tell us about which was something, what was something which was very challenging for you in all of the educational endeavors that you have undertaken?
I think firstly we could skip this because I don't even look at them. See, they were all milestones in life. I never did any certification. I very strongly believe, and a lot of trainers ask me,
Mhm.
nobody till today has asked me for a certificate. I think your credibility doesn't come from certificates, and in our country particularly, you can't even buy certificates. So I think they are not important. What is important is what you deliver. What is your credibility is what did you deliver and what are you known for by your clients, by your audience. And I think you should only focus on that. This so you have dug out from my website, and I mean for me it was trying to remember that yeah I've done all this, but they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything to me.
Okay, that's very humble, sir. So, but definitely you have invested time in securing all of these degrees and qualifications, which have made you what you are today.
Not only time, but Archana, let me also share with you that when I came out of the army, I did not want to live on the laurels of my past experience. I knew that I'm going to get into corporate world and I've never been there, and I had to orientate myself and get what in the army we say acclimatized to the corporate environment. And you'll be amazed to know that in the last 15 years, I
Mhm,
have probably spent anything between 25 to 30 lakhs on my own personal development. And some of
mhm,
these programs you see, whether it's Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, which was in Sydney. So I've
mhm,
traveled to Sydney, I've traveled to Singapore. I've done these programs with world class people. Uh, I've done this Quantum Leap, which was, there are 4 programs, and they were all in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and all. I've traveled to all these places, stayed in hotels, paid about 3.5 lakhs for that program itself. So,
mhm,
I've not only invested my time, and so I call it team,
mhm,
TEEM,
mhm.
time, effort, energy, and money. We are
Okay.
generally investing not only our money, but we are also, along with the money, investing our time, our energy, our effort, and our money.
Agreed, sir. And one needs to be focused and needs to have a clear goal as to why he or she is undertaking these certifications. So, in your case, you have invested so much in yourself and you are giving to the world more than what you have invested in yourself, is what I can say, sir.
Thank you.
So these are all the books. So Sushil sir is also an author of good acclaim. So his latest book is $1 Million Second. I've personally read it and one of the best books that I have ever laid my hand on. So sir, when did your journey as an author start?
So the journey of the author started with Design Your Life, which I wrote about four years back. It got published in 2017, and when I published this book, it was my 15 years of experience with children, and I took it as, focused on a class 10 student. A class 10 student takes the first decision of your first professional decision of your life when you decide which stream to take, because that is
Yes.
the first step at which your journey, the professional journey starts. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have taken, for example, science, then you can't be doing arts. If you're doing arts, you're not doing science, although you can switch later, but that is what sets your path. And then you decide which college to go to, then you decide which company to go to, you
Mm-hmm.
decide which person to get married to, which city to stay in. And I say that we are today a sum total of the decisions we took. And this book tells you how to take deliberate decisions to carve the path, because every time, every dot that decision you take is actually putting a mark, and that is the journey of your life, right? So design your life is that you carve that path for yourself and don't go on a path carved by other people for you. And this book is full of stories, no theories.
Okay.
It is all about my experiences with children. And now this book, luckily, has been converted into a podcast on Spotify called Zindagi Unplugged, and it is in Hindi. So more
Mm.
people, so it is the book costs 300 rupees and people have to buy, and today's youth doesn't buy books easily. But this book is now available to you on a podcast free of cost,
Okay.
and there are 48 episodes, out of which about 38 or 39 are already live on Spotify. I'll give
Mm.
you the link. You can also put it in your in the
I'll do
links.
it, sir.
I think this is something very good for all parents and all young people. Again, I said this knowledge for free,
Yes, sir.
and I'll be very happy if it spreads to more people.
I'll definitely make all the efforts that I can in these directions.
the the four other books, and I suddenly realized that there is a fifth one, which is so that means now it is seven books and not six books. I've
Okay.
just realized it right now.
Hmm.
uh, these other books are all gifts of COVID.
Okay.
So I must tell you this interesting story, that this book called Shifting Gears came up when a
Hmm.
lady who's member of the PSAI, Professional Speakers Association of India,
Hmm.
came out with an idea within a week of the first lockdown in the month of March. And she said there are 21 days of lockdown. Why don't 21 of us write a chapter each for a book called How to Pivot Out of This Lockdown?
Okay.
And that time nobody knew how long the lockdown will be. Everyone thought 21 days and we'll be all free.
Mm.
Okay. And this book was written and published in those 21 days on 14th April, which was the last day
First
of this
lockdown.
lockdown.
Yes.
This book was on Kindle, but Kindle took about 10 days to release it.
Hmm.
So, uh, so I became a co-author of this book, and all the other four books that you see are similarly. I'm a co-author. So all these books I have written only one chapter, and there are other authors who have written other chapters.
Okay.
Seven Mantras, you'll see, is one of our TTOT initiatives. And the
Yes.
second book, which has now been written by TTOT2, is the second book which has come up. So there are five books that have come out in COVID where I'm a co-author. But the two books on top, $1 Million Second and Design Your Life, are the ones which are main my solo author books.
Okay. Okay. So, where can we find all of these books? Are they available on Amazon?
Yes, all of them are available on Amazon. Other than this COVID, where you see connection over visual, what is that? uh,
Instructor
in
distancing.
Yeah. So this one is
Sit.
available with me, a PDF. It's a free book, so
Okay.
there's no cost to it. Others are priced at a very small price, which are all others are available on Amazon.
So, do we also have hard copies, or are they available only in the soft, sir?
They are only available on soft copies.
Okay, right now. And Zindagi Unplugged is a podcast and on Spotify, right, sir?
That's right. Yes.
Right. So, audience, in order to enhance your knowledge with regard to time, with regard to life, I would definitely suggest invest in one of these. Right, sir. Talking about the awards and recognition, that is a huge collection of medals, sir. So, just tell us about it.
Oh my God! Again, I'm a little embarrassed. I think uh, I don't think we need to talk about it. These are some of the
No,
good people
sir.
I met in my life. So, like now, Sachin Tendulkar, I'm not, I mean, this is there because I just loved meeting him and we had a little exchange of words. Brian Tracy, the next photograph is, of course, my guru, and he's endorsed my book, $1,000,000 Second. I've learned all about my time management and goal setting from him.
Mhm.
Uh, the next guy is Bob, and Bob, I did a program long time back. DC Cordova, of course, is one of she's a owner of this. Uh, oh, I'm forgetting the name of this company in USA, but she has a program called Money and You. Money and You is a world famous program, and
Okay.
in that program, she has had Tony Robbins, Blair Singer, and all these people as her students.
Mhm.
So that's a very important program, Money and You. I've done that program also.
Okay.
And she has endorsed, or she has written the forward for my first book, Design Your Life.
Okay.
So that is how these people are here. Those medals are in the army, and they are not gallantry awards. They are quite like milestones, 9 years service and Indo-Pak war and all that. Nothing great, nothing great.
Okay. That's very humble, sir. That's very humble. So I have another set of pictures. So would you like to speak about it, sir? So these are again your academic achievements, or what are they, sir?
So for nothing, really speaking, Archana, I was given, this is the first time I ever wore a robe. I was such an uneducated guy. But in IFIM, I don't know, Jabardasti ka, they gave me a sort of a
Honorary
degree or whatever.
doctorate. Okay.
Yeah. And then there is another certificate I got from Mother Teresa University. I got later that also, which is not here.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's it. I think I really don't want to say anything. They're all very, very small happenings that happen in my life.
Your humility personified, sir. Right, sir. So uh, we've had a very fruitful interaction with Brigadier Sushil Bhasin, sir, and all of you must have realized time is the most important element that one can have in his life. And these are all the social handles on which sir is available. I will be providing all of these at the bottom of the link in the video as well. And sir, what would you like to tell my audience?
Well, I would say that let's all contribute to making this world a better place. We really need to work on a lot of things that are not happening very great. Whether it is looking after the environment, whether it is looking after the, of course, planet Earth that covers there, uh, whether it is looking after ourselves, whether it's looking after our health. And I think COVID has taught us some very good lessons. Let us all work towards spreading goodness. That's all what I would like to say. each one of us is capable of influencing people around us, and let's put in every one person a little effort to do that, would result in a great uh, amplified manner, and that's all what I would like to say.
Agreed, sir. The community building that we've been doing with TTOT is a small example of what can happen when we actually care for each other, share, and are there for each other. Thank you so much for that lovely message that you have given, sir. And it was amazing having you on Brain Tunes with Archana.
Thank you very much, Archana. Very kind of you, and I just enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much, sir. Hoping to have you again on my show with other insights so that my audience can learn a lot from you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.